So boom, I don't know about you, but I grew up in a house that when I asked my mother, hey, can I go sleep over such and such house, my mother was like, no. And that was it. You never question it. All right, when your mother says no and she gives you that look, you know not to ask. So I didn't really grow up going to people's houses and sleeping over and stuff like that, right? So I always wanted to have, like, you know, like when, I don't know, I always wanted to have like a sleepover, like where we stay up and talk about stuff and like do things like, I don't know, like play Uno or spades or like, I don't know, and just do like cute stuff. So I thought, look, I'm in my bata, my little cute camper nighty. I love it. You know what I love about it is I love the color purple. It's like, it reminds me of my favorite movie, The Color Purple, ironically. And then it has like all these dark colors of purple. It's really, really pretty, honestly. And it's comfortable. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I don't know where this is Secret Treasures. If you guys are really curious about this. But honestly, it's really comfortable. So, oh wow, I'm losing train of thought. No. Basically, I thought that it would be fun if I tell y'all about the time that like I was playing too much and how playing too much almost caused me to lose my life. I know it seems dramatic, but honestly, when I tell y'all what happened, y'all gonna understand that I'm not even exaggerating. So let me tell you the setup, right? This is in junior high, and I had a friend, right? And ironically enough, how me and this girl became friends was because we were in the same class in 8th grade, right? And her and her friend actually had a crush on me. And then when I told them, awkward, I'm one of the girls, it sort of like became a funny thing. And then like we instantly became friends, and it was like whatever, and we never thought about it. I know, so weird, and I can't believe I'm sharing that, but whatever. So that's the setup, 8th grade, right? So I am from New York, okay? And I didn't grow up in beaches. I grew up in the projects. So the only pool that we had was Howard Pool, and that pool wasn't the cleanest. So you're not going to go to that pool. So I really don't have much experience besides being in a bathtub with water. Like I'm not going to say that I am a swimmer. I don't even know how to swim, basically is what I'm trying to say. So had this friend, this homegirl. I always used to go to her house. We were like besties. It is what it was. We would look at boys together. Like it was such a thing. Like it was such a thing. Like, and I was a lot older, I believe. Okay, I don't know how old you are when you're in 8th grade, but like I would stay over her house late, and it was never a thing because her parents like knew about me and they embraced me, and it was very different. Like that's a whole nother chapter of my life, guys. I've lived but I loved it, and we were able to be two little girls, just, you know, I don't know, going through puberty and our bodies developing. Like it was weird because, you know, I was already blessed in the chest at that age. Like I honestly was I used to have to hide it and wear really tight undershirts to cover, you know, that I was developing chest, whatever. So it is what it is. So through, you know, always going over her house, because we sort of lived close to each other, and we would walk back home from school together. So it was always that. It was like, okay, let's just walk back home together. And then we branch off where we branch off, right? So we became really close, and her family, they had a car, and they were like, do you want to go to the pool? So I'm like, okay, cool, cute situation. Never been. Which pool are we going to? Because these pools are dirty. And they're like, no, we're going to go to a pool like in Long Island. And I'm like, oh, we're going to go to a pool in Long Island. Cool, I'm totally down for that. So let's go. Basically, we went, and okay, so we were at that age where, you know, you notice boys and boys notice you, and your body starts to change and things happen, and maybe your mind is just not in the right place, right? So I am a 90s baby, and I grew up with shows like Baywatch with Pamela Anderson. Oh my God, Baywatch. the bathing suits. Imagine me in a really tight red Baywatch bathing suit, high crotch. Wow. That is a look. You have to have a body to pull that off. I would not feel confident to do that. But one day, baby, I'm going to pull my full Baywatch fantasy, and I'm going to get the little, like, what do you call those things that they have? The little red buoys that they take out with them in the water? Whatever. That is what I'm going to have, and I'm going to have my full Baywatch moment. Yo, that's crazy, right? Does anybody remember that show? All right, so whatever. So I grew up with that show and watching the lifeguards, and we went to this pool, and you could tell that this pool was nice because this pool had like lifeguards, like a lot of lifeguards. But in particular, in the part of the pool that we were going to, there was this one lifeguard, and he was like really, really cute. In my head, I called him Chad. I don't even know what his name is. All I know is that he gave me very like, oh my God, he's like the, what do you call, the quarterback of the varsity team in high school. Like, okay, so I was in junior high. So basically he gave me very high school football player. Like, oh, and he was like really built for his age. Like, wow. He was really built, and I was like, it was intense. Like, it was intense back then. And me and this girl literally were like, oh my God, he is so cute. He is so cute. He is so cute. Oh my God, I cannot believe this. Mind you, this is a girl who I had my very first kiss at the age of 16. And that's a whole nother story, okay? So let me tell you something. I didn't even have my kiss until the age of 16. So I was in 8th grade at this point. So this was early on. Like, that's a whole nother story. If you guys are interested in that story, let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on that little notification bell so you can be so that you can get notified when I post my next video. And on that, we're going to take a water break. So whatever. So boom. Whatever. Me and this girl, we walking in with her family. Everything's cute. We peep him and we're like, he is so dreamy. He is so cute. Look at his body. He's giving me very Zac Efron. He's giving me very, oh my God. He's just giving me very like he plays sports, you know, like just very much that, like very solid build, and it's like very tan, and his hair was, oh my God, he was so cute. He was so cute. I remember every single crush. Let me tell you something. Does anybody remember the stationery called Pink Hannah? Yo, this is completely aging me, but in junior high, Pink Hannah stationery was all the rave. All the rave. If you had Pink Hannah with the gel pens, you had money and you were popular. You were popular. But, so boom. I remember saving up my allowance so I could secretly buy Pink Hannah stationery. Yo, one day I want to be able... Yo, do you think they still sell Pink Hannah stationery? I would love... You know what? I'm going to try to find that. Yo, that is crazy. Pink Hannah is such a throwback. But let me tell you something. This is how young and naive I was back in the day. I used to write in my Pink Hannah stationery that I had saved. Like I saved up for a little packet of Pink Hannah stationery in a little set. And it came, I remember it came with like, I think it was like 7 letters, like stationery with the cards. And then it came with like... it was a whole moment. And I would write all my crushes and stuff like that. And, oh my God, I was so innocent back then. Times were simpler. So we popped in there. We're at the pool. We're already peeping our chair situation. That's how we knew this was a nice pool. Like, there was chairs. Everything was set up really, really nice. Like, there was like room for everybody in this pool, if that makes any sense. Like, it didn't feel crowded. So in this particular pool, it was a really big pool, and at one end, in the far, like all the way in the other end of the pool, there was a water slide, right? It wasn't like a really big water slide, but it was big enough to make a statement. So the girl that I was with, she's a swimmer. She's like, oh my God, I know how to swim. I know how to swim. I can't wait. I cannot wait. And I'm like, ooh, girl, pump your brakes, because I like to slowly walk my way. And then when I can't touch the floor, I take a couple of steps back until I could touch the floor. And that's where I stay. And I do a cute little this situation. I just stay there cute, right? That's my type of pool experience. I don't get nothing wet from above the neck. Like, just a cute little situation in the pool, right? No. She's like underwater. She's like doing the most. And I'm like, girl, I cannot handle. So I jokingly was like, oh my God, wouldn't it be funny if I was like to somehow drown, and like he totally comes into the water and saves me and has to like resuscitate me. And she started laughing, and she was like, oh my God, girl, I was thinking the same thing. Like, that is so funny. And we was joking about it. We was completely joking about it, both of us, right? Do not judge us. We were young. We were young. So, boom. We were laughing about it. We was doing all the most. And she's like, girl, come on, let's go on the water slide. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know. Like, I don't really know how I feel about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never been on a water slide. And she's like, come on. You tall enough. Like, you could do it. Because I've always been tall. I feel like I've always been 5'8". I feel like I just was born 5'8". I feel like that's because even when I was growing up, remember how you used to have to line up for school, like preschool and kindergarten and first grade, second, third. You have to line up in the lunchroom, and then your teachers will take you to your classroom. If anybody remembers how school used to be, yo, that's crazy that things have changed so much and these kids are going through school at home. That's so weird. I don't know. I grew up in school and I'm glad that I did. But I remember that. So I was always at the end of the line because it was size order. I was always at the end of the line. I never knew what it felt like to be the line leader, because when you were the line leader, the teacher always put that responsibility. It was like, look, Jimmy, you are the line leader. Wherever you go, the class has to follow you. That's a big responsibility. Okay? So I need you to follow me accordingly. And you would see these line leaders, they felt superior. They were like, yo, the line leaders used to be bullies in the freaking class. They used to be bullies. They used to be like, I lead the line. Do you not know the pressure that I feel every single morning? If I lead you off this path, we are gone. I am single-handedly leading us to this classroom where we take our naps and eat our snacks. You do not know my pain. You stay at the back of the line. You don't even know what happens up there. And it's like, wow, Billy, you're really taking this line leader thing really, really seriously. And I need you to take a chill pill, okay? Maybe I'm a little triggered. But I'm learning how to get past that, and I embrace my height now. So we're going to tuck that away and we're going to move on. So we're joking in the pool, and she's like, come on, let's go to the water slide. So now her family is egging it on, and they're like, come on, it will be mad fun. It will be mad fun. It will be mad fun. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it because peer pressure is a thing. And back then I fell into it. Now I know better. You see? Lesson learned, I know better. But back then, I did not know better. So she goes up to the water slide. And then, you know what? I felt it in my stomach and I knew something was bad. But I still went ahead and did it because I felt that pressure. You know, everybody was looking at me like, whatever. So she's all cute and effervescent. She gets on the water slide. She goes, whoosh, psh, and then and she comes up, right? Simple enough. I'm like, okay, cool. She did it. I seen her do it. She's waiting for me. There's this like little bit of floaties in a semicircle that's blocking off the area that you go into the water slide. So boom, I'm up there. I'm feeling nervous. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if I should do this. But then she's like, come on, girl. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. So I lay down. I sit, and then I lay, and I cross my hands. And it went whoosh, like whoosh, mad fast. And I go down, and all I remember was I go down hard into the water. And I remember going down and seeing the water go above. And I'm like, okay, when am I going to touch the bottom of the water? And I couldn't touch the bottom of the water. So then when I realized that I couldn't touch the bottom of the water and there was so much water up above me, I started to panic and I started to thrash trying to get up. And it took everything in me to try to get my head above the water. And all I could do was get my lips. And because all I could get was my lips above the water, literally, all I could do was... And I was trying to make it. Like, honestly, I couldn't swim. And all I heard was her laughing because she thought I was faking it, because I was joking around saying that I should pretend like I was drowning so he could come save me. Now here I am, she's like feet away from me, just swimming so effortlessly, laughing, and I'm here fighting for my life, panicking, and I'm going underwater, and finally all I hear is the whistle blowing. I don't know how to do a whistle. And then somebody jumping in the water and coming to grab me like this and pulling me up. And I'm like, freaking out. And then he's like, calm down, calm down, calm down. And I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm freaking out. And I'm like, why did you save me? And she's like, girl, I thought you was playing. He pulls me out of the water. It becomes a whole thing. Everybody has to get out of the water. You see, that's what they don't tell you. When a lifeguard jumps into the water, everybody has to get out of the water. You can't stay in the water because everybody got out of the pool. And they were all standing around and I'm being pulled out and I'm just there hysterical. And I'm like, what happened? And everybody was laughing because they're like, they thought I was playing around and they didn't know it was serious. And I'm like, lesson learned. You just don't play too much. Don't play too much. Don't play with stuff like that. I'm an adult now and I know better not to do it. But I'm going to say this, right? And I should not be saying this, but I'm going to say this. Okay, I was mad scared, but I remember how safe I felt when he grabbed me in my arms because he was saving my life. And in that moment, I never felt more safe. It was really a fantasy, and I'm not advocating like drowning. Definitely not. I do not recommend drowning at all. I've experienced it. Not only that time, you know, I've almost felt, I fell into a lake and got caught with the river currents. I got caught with the current and I was getting swept. And the worst part is that people around me were on floaty tires. It was like a lazy river situation. Oh, I can't remember what state it was in, but it was in some state that I went to, and it was like a lazy, long, natural river, and you would rent a little tire. Basically, I fell off the tire and the current took me and everybody was watching me and I was drowning and the rocks was slippery and I had on chanclas. My chanclas broke and I was left barefoot. And if it wasn't for somebody stopping me with a stick that they had so that I can grab the tire and get back on it, I would have been done for. Yo, that's crazy. I'm mad scared. I need to learn how to swim, but it's like, how do you learn how to swim? I've had people try to show me how to swim and they get like real angry when you don't catch on real quick. They get like real angry and it's like, ooh, I understand that you know how to swim, so you don't understand how it feels to not know how to swim, but like yelling at me, it's not going to teach me how to swim faster. It's actually going to do the opposite, because I'm going to shut down because I really don't want to be yelled at as a person personally. So yes, but I definitely want to learn how to like, I feel like the whole time the camera has been shaky and I'm so sorry for the video quality. I definitely should have thought of that before I recorded this video, but I just wanted to talk to you guys on camera, so I had good intentions. Please know that I love you. So that's basically the story of how I was playing too much and it caused me to almost lose my life. So now that we're adults, we make better choices, and I do not play like that anymore. So do not worry, I've learned my lesson. And I hope that that came across as funny, because honestly, like, even though it was scary, yes, it was, I think it was funny at the same time because I just think about how I looked, like on the outside. Like maybe if I knew how to swim and I was in a different body looking at me drowning a little bit, I could imagine what I looked like and how dramatic it must have seemed. And I would have probably laughed at it too. And if you can't make fun of yourself, how can you make fun of anybody else? I mean, you could make fun of somebody else without making fun of yourself, theoretically. But I think that I'm overthinking this now. You know what? I'm going to go on live because I still want to talk to you guys. All right. I love you guys. Bendiciones.